Tensions rose sharply in Los Angeles after immigration raids triggered mass protests. In response, President Trump ordered thousands of National Guard troops and hundreds of Marines deployed. California's governor and Los Angeles's mayor immediately challenged the move, calling it unconstitutional. They argued it violated state rights and federal laws governing domestic military deployments. A federal judge ruled against Trump's order, stating that deploying troops without the governor's approval broke the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The ruling gave the administration until Friday noon to return control of the National Guard to Californian officials, sparking legal and political turmoil nationwide. Trump appealed the decision, and a federal court temporarily allowed the troops to remain deployed until further hearings were held. As of Thursday, around 200 Marines had arrived to guard federal buildings in downtown Los Angeles alongside the already present National Guard soldiers. Critics claim Trump was weaponizing the military for political purposes, describing the actions as authoritarian and comparing the city to a war zone. Governor Newsom accused Trump of exploiting federal troops for partisan gain, calling the deployment dangerous, unlawful, and deeply un-American. Supporters of the deployment said the federal government was simply enforcing immigration laws and protecting public order during a time of chaos. National polls showed the country divided, with Republicans mostly supporting the president, while Democrats and independents largely opposed military action against civilians. Protesters filled the streets night after night, holding banners and chanting against what they called the militarization of democracy and abuse of power. Senator Alex Padilla was briefly detained by federal agents, drawing outrage and raising fears about political repression under federal authority. A citywide curfew was enacted from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., and dozens of protesters were arrested for violating the curfew order. Thousands of activists organized demonstrations in other cities under the slogan "No Kings," opposing the use of troops against American citizens. Some troops reportedly slept on cold concrete floors, prompting criticism that soldiers were being used as political pawns rather than respected professionals. The legal standoff between California and the White House intensified, becoming a national flashpoint over states' rights and federal overreach. Several National Guard commanders privately expressed concern about their role, uncertain whether they were there to protect or suppress American citizens. Meanwhile, residents in downtown Los Angeles reported confusion, fear, and disruption due to roadblocks, military checkpoints, and nighttime helicopter patrols. The White House dismissed concerns, claiming the operation was necessary to prevent violence, property destruction, and threats to law enforcement officers. California lawmakers vowed to continue legal action, calling the federal deployment a constitutional crisis with lasting consequences for American democracy. The standoff is shaping political futures. Newsom's resistance is raising his national profile, while Trump's base views the crackdown as decisive leadership. With new court battles looming and fresh protests planned nationwide, the situation remains tense, uncertain, and emblematic of deep divisions across America.